Hey everybody, welcome to Metal Blade TV. We're hanging out with Jim Matheos and John Arch from Arch Matheos, and we're going to go over each track of the upcoming, or the, as you see it, watch this new release. Say the title again?
Sympathetic Resonance.
Sympathetic Resonance. That's the title
it's
of
like
the,
all our stuff is tongue twisters, right?
album.
Lyrics
and now the first song we're going to talk about is Neurotically Wired.
There you
Oh,
go.
I can say that now. So, first track on the record was, when you were writing this, were you thinking, okay, this is going to be the first song, or you're just writing something, you just ended up being the first song? And how did you choose that to be the first track?
Actually, you know what? I don't usually do that, but for this song, I was thinking, this was a long time ago, but I was thinking I need something for a good intro to a record. I really did have that in mind, which is something I don't normally do, so I wanted to set it up for whatever the record was going to be, to have a really kind of dramatic and powerful intro, so hopefully that worked on this one.
Yeah, it feels like it's an interesting song because there's a lot. All the songs on the record are very complicated, but this one was definitely pretty complicated. But I felt that the beginning
sounded like an
intro.
intro.
Pretty good. When I first heard it, I go, well, really, that's the first track? I guess it does kind of make sense.
Cool.
So I guess obviously lyrically, the title kind of says a lot. I think.
Yes, it's
that went lyrically. So
it's a biography of me. No. Actually, we were calling it Eyes of a Child at one point. We changed. We like Neurotically Wired.
You wanted something more complex that I can't pronounce very well. Thanks.
Yes. Just something to trip over. The song itself, when I first heard, Jim's composition, very complex, odd time signatures. Took me a while to wrap my mind around it, and of course, this being the first track to work on. It seemed to turn out almost as an extension, this song, of A Twist of Fate, lyrically. It goes through so many different changes, using a lot of metaphors again, colorful language. It's open for interpretation for those people, the fans who love to read the lyrics, which, I hope they do.
Absolutely.
They're challenging.
If you don't, you have to.
Right.
So when you do it, when there's a song like this, and obviously there's a lot of, it's a super progressive, very heavy record. But when there's a song like this, and it's, for me, like as a lay person that's not a musician and listening to it, how do you come up with the vocal melodies that match and mesh so well with the music? Because the music's kind of, especially, I think this song maybe more so than the other ones on it, very kind of disjointed, and so a lot of stuff going on. Do you have a melody in your head first, or do you listen to the music and then try to find a melody that fits in? And is it difficult to be able to do that over music like that?
It's easier for me. There's, I guess, it's semi-dimensional where syncopation is involved with the words. I love doing that. I love fitting the words and weaving them in between his odd time signatures. So that's one aspect of it. And the melodies, I like them to have a starting point and a finish point, and to fit all together.
And like a song like this, lyrically, are you writing the lyrics before you start singing on the song, or are you writing the lyrics, figuring out how you're going to piece them within the song? How does that? How does that work on this one, at least?
Oh, this song here? Boy, let me think. I think I started with lyrics. I think I started, weaving the lyrics and syncopating them in between the signatures, the time signatures. Because at first, when I heard this song, it didn't make a heck of a lot of sense to me either. It's like I've been on it for a while.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of shit going on here. But I finally, got my mind around it and just took it piece by piece, And then the melody lines came after. And it's a process. It's not like the first melody line that I write for, it's the one that's going to stick. It's like, okay, there may be components of this melody line that I like, but I want to change the tail end of this to make it sound more accommodating for the next line. So it's line by line, really. And
on this one, if you can remember, did you come up with the title before hearing the song or after? And when you heard the song, did that play anything into picking that title?
Well, the music. Well, of course, the music that inspires me leads to the melodies, and then leads to the lyrics. The chorus of this song, actually, I started writing the verses and all the bits and pieces in the verses, and then I'd write over the bridge part, and then I got to the chorus, and the chorus was there was a lot going on there too, but it was very melodic, and I think that it's a pretty powerful chorus. So the melody for the chorus was just inspired by the movement of the Jim's chords underneath. There's certain things, you start singing certain notes and he's got 4 layers of guitars going on, so something might clash, so you have to be careful you know, that you don't step on the guitars a couple times. Okay, this note doesn't work, so we'd have to change the note. But
and I guess the last question on this song is, in the terms of the writing process, obviously the first song on the record, where do you remember where it was in the process of you writing it?
It was the first one, like I said.
It was the first
yeah,
one?
like I
Okay,
said
wow.
before, I started writing for whatever project it was going to be. I wasn't sure at the time, but I said I wanted something kind of dramatic and powerful for an intro, and
There you have it.
just took it from there. I don't know
Wow,
where it came from.
Cool. And there you have it, Neurotically Wired, from the new Arch Matheos record.